Okay, so today I posted a video of a crazy push-up that's really advanced and it's got a twist with a leg lift and all this fancy stuff. And I know some of you are just getting started. So push-ups are going to be one of the most difficult exercises for you to start with. So I'm going to show you today just a really easy way to get started with your push-ups. So the first thing I want you to do is get out your mat and then I'm going to talk you through it. So we are going to start first with very, very simple plank. Okay, so I know I've done a plank tutorial and I totally suggest that you go back and you watch that because plank is the foundation of your push-up. If you don't have a perfect plank yet, push-up is going to be really hard in its full position. So in the full arm, full leg, flat out plank position, until you get a perfect plank and a nice strong core connection, that's going to be really tough. So we build up to that starting with a modified push-up and a modified plank. So what you want to do first for starting with your plank to get into position for the push-up is forearms parallel to one another, right under your shoulders, shoulders pulled back, belly button pulled in. Tuck the toes under so that your toes are pointing towards your shins. Now, I have my feet wide apart, which is going to make your plank and your balance a little bit stronger until you get stronger. Once your core has that strength to hold you up, you will slowly bring your feet all the way together. Obviously, that creates a narrower base to stand on, so you have a lot less stability. But to begin, feet are wide apart, and the same will go for your push-ups. Once you have that position all set, then I want you to squeeze your glutes, squeeze your tummy, and then you're just going to push down into your feet and lift up off the floor. Now for you super beginners, I want you in a slight pike. Until you get stronger, I don't want you all the way flat because what ends up happening is the pelvis starts to weigh you down and it gets into the lower back. And we want to avoid any strain in the lower back. Strain equals pain and we don't want that. So that's where you're going to start. Super simple plank just to build up the strength in the core. Then to go into your modified push-up. You're going to stay with the legs in this position and I want you to now go onto your hands and knees. So starting with your hands and knees, notice how I am completely angled here. You're going to walk your hands forward so they're in front of you. Then I want you to bring your hips forward, minimizing the angle of the hips. Now notice, I still have a slight angle here. I don't want you to aim for a perfect flat plank yet. Again, the same rule applies. Then you'll start leading with your pelvis and the push-up will be painful on your back. So if you keep this angle of the hips and think of tucking the butt under slightly so your glutes are engaged, that's going to help with your push-up positions. All right, so I'm just going to tie this back so you can see what's happening in the hips. Again, so you're on your hands, they're slightly in front of you. You're bringing your hips forward so now your shoulders are over your wrists. Okay, we don't want to be so far over and we don't want your arms in front because that makes it really, really awkward and weird. So right over the hands. Now, I keep my feet in that plank position because what I'm going to have you do after this simple modified push-up is just press into a full arm plank for a few moments to feel your muscles. So keep the toes tucked under. You're going to keep your feet wide, your knees are apart. Your tummy is pulled tight, your butt is tucked, and now what you're going to do is lead with your chest and bend your elbows. I almost want you to think of bringing your whole body down as one piece, as if you were in a body cast, okay? So from here, you're just going to take a nice deep breath in and bend your elbows. And then exhale. I always say your exhalation is like the rocket ship taking off. So you're using that to press your body up off the ground. And that applies regardless if you're doing a full push-up or a modified push-up, okay? So let's do that again. Modified push-up position, inhale down, exhale up. Good. Try that about 5 to 10 times, and after your last one, I just want you to press your heels back. Hold that position. And then bring the knees back down, and then I want you to do it again, 5 to 10 push-ups in this position. Now, if this bothers your wrists, there's another way that you can do this without hurting the wrists. the hand position. You can flex your hand into a fist with your thumb outside and put the top of your fingers, this flat portion here, on the floor. That's going to create a nice solid, strong forearm and no compression in the wrist. So you would do push like that. The other option is to hold a dumbbell here, again, so that you would be in this same position. If you're finding that this position is even too difficult, you can find a surface. I have this nifty bench here, so I can use this. Again, the same body position, but this time, obviously, your shoulders will not be in front, or I'm sorry, over the wrists. They will be on a slight angle, but it's the same idea. You want to inhale as you press and exhale as you push. The same thing applies for the body in that there's no break in the hips. The hips aren't dipping down really low. There's nothing awkward happening here. This should all remain strong. And that's the point to the push-up. So now if that is even too difficult, you can do standing push-up against the wall. This is super beginner and this is okay. Again, stand away from the wall so that you can lean against it. You want to be up on your tippy toes. Hands right in front of your shoulders, not too high, not too low. Once you're there and you're ready, you're going to do it. Press forward, no angle in the body. Keep your hips in line with your shoulders and press away, right? So we don't want to do this. We don't want to do this. You're bending your arms, keeping your body solid, and exhaling to push away. There's your option. You also have your countertop option. Up on the tippy toes, that's a little lower than the wall. There, okay? Same thing is going to apply with the body, keeping the hips in line with your shoulders. We don't want to break at the hip. Don't leave your butt hanging way out. You want to bring it with you into your position. So those are all your modifications for push-ups. And if you're a beginner, start standing. Work your way down to a lower surface. But what I want you to work on still is that plank strength, because that's going to create that strong core for you. So once again, your plank on the ground. Work on that. Push-ups on the wall, push-ups on the counter, low bench, down to the floor. Do a few of each to really find your comfort zone, but most importantly, feel this solid here. You do not want this break. That's where most people make the mistake, is leaving the butt up in the air, or the opposite, dropping the hips down. Keeping it nice and strong. Do your push-ups there. Try a plank. Drop the knees. Do a few more. Do a plank. Challenge yourself to hold those planks for 30 to 60 seconds. Once you're able to hold a solid plank for 60 seconds, you can do push-ups of any kind. Just building that strength in the center of your body, and you're good to go.